Laser sights are an essential firearms training tool, clearly correcting and improving the two most important shooting fundamentals, aiming and trigger control. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Learn more at crimsontrace.com.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, teaching an old dog new tricks, plus a change of scenery, literally and politically for one company, your range reports and more. Call in now, 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Now here's Santa Tom.
Let's see. A 22 rifle for Katie. A 20-gauge auto for Christopher. A pair of engraved single-action 4440s for Mom. And an AR-15 for Grandma. Ho, ho, ho.
All the best to you and yours. From Tom Gresham's Gun Talk.
Oh, yes, indeed. And here's hoping that there's a box of some sort under your tree. Long, skinny box. Maybe it's a squarish kind of box. It depends on whatever thing you are looking for, long gun or short gun, handgun. Hey, welcome. I'm Tom Gresham. And Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Let me adjust that for all of my Jewish friends out there. It's a great time of year. It's a wonderful time of year. It's a time for reaching out and connecting or reconnecting with friends and family members and getting together. It's all about, well, it's about the connections. It's about the people. It's about spending time with people you like, people you love. And don't forget that reconnection thing. We'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. A lot of things I'd like to talk with you about today. And some of them are going to be, on the serious side, and some are going to be just pure fun. We're going to be talking about some new products that are out. We're going to be talking about, the guns and ammo and scopes and accessories that you might be wanting this year. It's also that wonderful time of the year. No, not the Christmas time. It's that pre-SHOT Show time of the year. The SHOT Show, of course, is the big industry trade show for the firearms industry where new things get introduced. And some of the news is breaking right now. We'll have some of that today on the show. And also, I was able to go out. We're testing, doing some shooting with new products that we can't talk about quite yet. We're just weeks away. Can't wait to tell you about some of the other things. But an awful lot of new products coming out. It's interesting. Do you remember when people said, well, if Trump wins, then gun sales are just going to crash? Yeah, I think maybe a lot of people bought into that. Not me. So what happened? Well, every report I'm getting from every gun store I talk to says, no, not seeing any fall off at all. Might see a little bit of a shift. Maybe more people buying self-defense, maybe a little bit less on the AR side. Hard to tell. Certainly more on the hunting side. And people have been asking me, well, what's going on, Tom? Well, I tell you what I think's going on. I think people are relieved. People are more comfortable. Like when you're comfortable, you will let go of some of your money. You don't hold on to it. I think there's simply more money flowing as people feel good about their situation, about the economy. I talked to a gun store owner yesterday. He said, look, I planned to shut down my business if Hillary won. I was going to try to get to be one of the first out the door because I figured they were coming after me and it was all going to be over. And he said, no, everything's good. We got people in the store. We're jam-packed. Everything's excellent. So interesting news out there, interesting thoughts. What are you seeing in the stores? What are you hearing out there? And are you releasing some of your funds? Are you buying guns? One of the folks I love to go hunting with and talk guns with and just get together with is our friend Dave Miles from Mossberg, who joins us right now. Fresh from a pheasant hunt, I hear, Dave. How you doing?
Oh, yeah. I've been hunting last 2 weekends. I've gone out with my good friend Randy Clark from the National Shooting Sports Foundation. Mm-hmm. We go to a local farm that's just down the road and have some fun taking out our dogs and doing some hunting.
Well, isn't that a fun thing to do? The weather's, it doesn't really matter if the weather's good, the weather's bad. It doesn't matter. You just go anyway, don't you?
Absolutely. And Randy just had some surgery on his shoulder, so he can't shoot. So I was
even better for
he
you.
called me and let me be his gunner. So he had some pheasants that he wanted to shoot and couldn't shoot, but his dog needs to work, and so he goes for a walk with me, and I get to shoot all the birds. So how good is that?
You know, that's like having a buddy with a car, and he says, oh, look, I just don't have time to drive my car, my sports car. Would you drive it for me? Yeah, I think I will.
Yes.
That is great. So tell me about your dog.
We're having a lot of fun. So.
Well, I know that you are a dog guy, and I've hunted behind your dogs before. And so what are you hunting now? Talk to me about what's going on with your dogs.
Well, Maggie's decided she can't hear so well anymore. She's 11 years old, Tom. So one of the things we've had to do this season is kind of adjust our expectations. And thankfully, Randy's a dog guy, too, and he can put up with it a little bit. But we found that Maggie's a good dog to hunt downwind, and that's because she doesn't hear so well. And so when she whiffs the scent of a bird about 100 yards upwind from us, she just takes off and starts wanting to flush that bird. So and there's no way to call her back because she can't hear the whistle anymore. So
it's not a case of selective hearing. She actually literally can't hear well now.
Well, my wife says it's selective, but I'm pretty sure she can't hear it.
So no. The husbands have selective hearing. That's a whole different issue.
Yeah, I know. It's really scary when your dog gets it. But no, I think Maggie's just one of those things where you just kind of have to smile and
work with it.
Maybe if there's a bird upwind, you got to run a little bit. So.
You do. You make accommodations. You go, okay, this is a good time for Maggie to be out. Like you say, work her downwind so she can hear you. And if she's working upwind and can't hear, you just got to hustle on up there, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, what happens when we're going downwind is she'll be working out in front, and she'll catch the wind of the bird, but usually she's gone past it before she does, and so she turns around and comes right up into us. And we've had a lot better luck hunting that direction than the other direction, so. When we're going out, it's probably better when we're working upwind to work an area where we don't expect to see a bird, and then go to those areas we expect to see a bird on the way downwind.
Would it be fair to say for you that working the dog is more of the element of hunting that you're enjoying than actually getting the birds at this point?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Maggie's been with me for 11 years, so I've seen her retrieve and flush quite a few birds over that time. I'm just kind of tickled that I still can take her hunting. She's getting a little bit geriatric, but she still loves what she's doing, so it's nice to see her do it.
Well, I'm glad you're still taking her out, and, as long as they can do it, they love it. You've got to take them out, and just like we hope that people make allowances for us as we get older, you have to do that with your dog. So tell me about Mossberg. What's cooking at Mossberg these days?
So Mossberg's doing great. We, like you said before, we're all gearing up for the SHOT Show, which is in a few weeks. So lots of stuff to do. Right at the end of the year, we get our catalog done. We've done all kinds of stuff. One of the cool things we've recently done is we launched a new online store. And so right now with the holidays going on, we're having a huge holiday sale, which is kind of fun. And we've kind of dug through the inventory and found a bunch of stuff that's maybe been sitting on the shelves too long, so there's some really good deals there. So some optics and that kind of stuff that were on scope combos that we had too many of sitting in the factory. We're kind of moving those at a great price, and so people have an opportunity to check that out on our website at mossberg.com and see the holiday sale. But
okay, I'm
cool.
clicking on it right now. Yeah, you got holiday sale going on there. Ooh, that's okay. Somebody at Mossberg has lost his mind. You guys have put stupid prices on these.
I don't know if they're stupid, but they're.
They're stupid cheap. They're stupid cheap. They are stupid cheap. Somebody, when the boss finds out what's going on here, somebody's going to be in trouble, because I'm looking at the first one that came up. It's regularly $72. Now it's $25, just to give people an idea of what we're talking about for discounts here. We got barrels and optics and all kinds of stuff. Man, you guys have been busy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of stuff. Some of it's closeout, so some of it will disappear. But as long as it's there, we're going to keep shipping it. Right now, for ground shipping, it's probably kind of hard to get it there for the holidays, but we do operate and offer expedited shipping for people that are urgently in need.
Right.
there's a lot of good stuff there. So
there really
if
is.
you don't get exactly what you want for the holidays, it's always a good thing to go buy what you need. So.
All right, just stop the bus here. I'm just scrolling through. This is so cool. A Mossberg Barstool. That is outstanding.
Oh yeah, that'd be. We're having a little man cave sale, so we've got the bar stool, we've got a neon sign, and then we have an LED sign, and all of those are marked down quite a bit.
LED sign. Oh man, this is outstanding. You could really rig up your man cave with this stuff. This is very cool.
I have one of those.
I'm sorry, Dave.
And every time somebody has a good idea, we turn it on.
The neon sign, I love it. Yeah, and you've got lots of barrels for everybody who's got barrels, or Mossberg shotguns. You also have, I did not realize that Mossberg made barrels for other shotguns. You got some
we make
Remington
one for
870 barrels.
one pump action shotgun. We make slug barrels and some other security barrels for the 870. And,
okay, yeah, that's what I was seeing there.
Yeah, so we have those are marked down as well. Just kind of blowing through different things that we've got. And
so this is a first come first serve deal, right?
Remington 870s, and there's 10 million people or so that own Mossberg 500s, and we make barrels for both of them because we're happy to make barrels.
So this is a first come first serve. If something sells out, it's just out.
Yes, a lot of the stuff is in our hunting guns. We've got old pattern 835 barrels and 535 barrels that are in kind of closed out camouflage patterns. So those are marked down pretty substantially. They were just inventory that was kind of lying there on the shelves, and we needed to move out. So why not do it in a holiday sale? 500 barrels. We've got some that are excess inventory, some that are everyday inventory that we mark down, and it's just a great opportunity to get a kind of a once a year price on a barrel.
Yeah, I mean, this is some really good, I'm not kidding, these are really good prices. So it's all over there. If you just go to mossberg.com, it's the first thing that comes up, says holiday sale, just click on it. Does this look right? Free shipping on orders over $150?
Yeah, so if you buy a barrel and maybe a couple T-shirts and a hat, we'll ship it to you for free. Now, that's just for ground shipping, so if you have to have it for Christmas, you won't be able to really enjoy that unless you live near Texas, but otherwise,
where it's coming out of.
It's a great deal. Get a good really price and get some great gear, and then we'll ship it to you for free too. So, kind of cool.
So, are we going to see something new? We're going to see something new from Mossberg Ajaccio?
Oh, there's going to be a number of new things. Some of them I can't talk about. Some we've already released. One of the guns that I really think is pretty cool is our new compact cruiser, and it's a firearm that shoots shot shells, and it's called an any other weapon. And it's got, one of them has a 7.5-inch barrel, and one's got a 10 3/4-inch barrel. So not a lot of capacity in there because you don't have that much room for a mag tube, but kind of a compact, great, I don't know, bedroom gun or something like that. When the bad
does that qualify as a? Are there any special regs on it and being any other weapon, or can you buy it just as a pistol or a handgun? Do you have to get like an NFA?
It's not quite the same. Any other weapons require a tax stamp. They're regulated by the National Firearms Act. But the neat thing is the tax transfer on any other weapon is only $5.
It's $5, but you still got to do the whole deal like NFA. So you're going to have to go through that process, right?
Yes, you will. Some people, I've got a trust, and that's what I've bought all my stuff on, and that's what I have my suppressors on. But you will have to pay the tax, and it'll take some time to do the transfer. But it's kind of a neat gun.
Sure. But might as well go ahead and get the order in.
Yeah, get started now, and then be patient. I guess is the rule of thumb with the NFA toys. But.
Exactly, it's just what we do. Well, I'll tell you what, when we get together at SHOT Show or there right after that, we'll talk about some of the new stuff that Mossberg's got going there, okay?
Hey, that's great, Tom. I sure appreciate it.
Hey, look, I appreciate it. Rub Maggie on the head for me, if you would, please.
I'll give her a pat on the head for you, and she appreciates being talked about on the radio show. So
that's great. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tom. Take care.
All right. Dave Miles, Mossberg. Yeah, check it out. Really, I'm not kidding about the prices. Holy cow. Caught me by surprise when I went there. Mossberg.com. First come, first serve. All right. Now it's time for you. 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in there. Just dial Tom Talk Gun. What are you wanting for Christmas? There's still time. What are you going to be buying?
After a long workday, you need a break when you get home. That's when it's trigger time. With quality adult air guns that are powerful, accurate, and quiet, and cost just pennies to shoot. We are Pyramid Air. We know air guns. Let our experts with more than 150 years of combined air gun experience help find the right air gun for you. Get your trigger time, anytime, for less. PyramidAir.com.
The Ruger American Rimfire rifle combines features of the Ruger American rifle and innovations of the 1022 Rimfire rifle to appeal to all bolt-action enthusiasts. It features a modular stock system that provides comb height options for scope or iron sight use, a power bedding integral bedding block system for outstanding accuracy, a Ruger Marksman adjustable trigger, and a 1022 style rotary magazine for reliable feeding. The Ruger American Rimfire rifle, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Meet Sid. Sid doesn't text back. Sid does simplify suppressor ownership. Meet Sid, the new interactive kiosk that makes the fingerprinting and paperwork of silencer applications quick, easy, and pain-free. If you're ready to own a silencer, make time to meet Sid, your new buddy in the silencer business. Available at selected Powered by Silencer shop retailers.
Attacks happen every day. How will you react? See real people put into real-life criminal attack situations on First Person Defender. Discover what works and what doesn't. Kidnapping, ATM robbery, home invasion, and other attacks. Learn how to save your life and the lives of your family. Get the entire first season on DVD at shopguntalk.com. Get prepared. shopguntalk.com.
A great trigger can make you a better shooter. For over 60 years, Timney triggers have been trusted by hunters and shooters everywhere. Timney triggers are proudly made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. Installation is easy. Give yourself the Timney Trigger advantage. To see more and order online, go to timneytriggers.com. That's TIMNEY triggers.com.
All right, welcome back. 866 Talk Gun gets you in here. By the way, First Person Defender, the new season is out. It's on our YouTube channel as well as Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. One of the shows on First Person Defender went viral. We think that YouTube did a recommendation for it. But anyway, like in the course of about a week, we picked up more than a million views. And it's the one where someone stops a school shooting. It's the scenario. We're using simunitions. We're all decked out in our safety gear and all. One of the fun parts of it is that the people, these are not gun people who have come to watch the show, so they don't know a lot about it. So their comments are fascinating. The one I like says, well, if we banned guns, we wouldn't have any school shootings. Okay. But my favorite, come on, really my favorite. I mean, you've seen First Person Defender, right? We got they look like paintball gear on. You had helmets and, the gear and gloves and everything. And somebody said, well, that's not realistic at all, because if I went into some place and everybody was wearing helmets, I would just turn around and leave. Okay. But, yeah, well, what are you going to do? First Person Defender is both educational as well as a lot of fun. It's fun to watch what happens. It's fun to watch people have complete brain meltdown, helmet fire, overloaded. Kristen Reno is telling this guy, said, all right, when you're getting involved and nobody else knows that, you're the good guy, you need to say something like, hey, I'm a concealed carry holder, or, call the police, things like that. So the guy says, I'm a concealed carry carrier in the middle of it. So we've had a lot of fun with that. You never know what you're going to do, and that's why you do the training, because the next time you'll be better. And the next time you do the training, you'll be better, which is kind of the whole point of training. And if you don't go do that, then you're not going to do well. Let me just tell you right now, having watched a zillion people go through this, you're not going to do well if you don't have anything to draw from. If you don't have any experience of how do I move through a building? What do I do when I've got a dozen people running around? How do I identify who's the bad guy? What do I do with other people? You need to have done that. So maybe, here's a thought, maybe you can arrange for Santa to give you some training. I will tell you from experience, I have found that the best way, well, actually, in truth, the only way for me to get exactly what I want for Christmas is to buy it myself, wrap it, put it under the tree, and put a card on it that says from Santa. No matter what I asked for, it never was quite exactly what I wanted. And so in my household, we have just kind of come to an understanding that if there's something I really want, and I'm usually very specific about it. It's not like, okay, I want just to pick something, a 38 special. No, I want this one at this barrel length and this model with this grip, right? I mean, that's what we do. Well, if I know exactly what I want, then why don't I just get it for myself, which is pretty much what I do. Speaking of which, just got word from Ruger. They said we could talk about it. A whole bunch, it looks like 10 new guns. First one up, I'm going to talk about, just mention, a GP144 special. That is so very cool, 3-inch barrel. 5-round, big bore, GP144 special. And yes, 44 special can be an awesome cartridge. A lot of cool things, just really something. Neat stuff, just really neat stuff. Why did Fox News decide to get into the gun control battle on the side of the gun control folks? They're publishing stories now on their website. They're just bogus as they could be. Total garbage. And it all is pushing gun control. I've never trusted Fox News exactly on guns, but now it looks like they really are taking sides. We'll talk about that when we come back.
Sign up for our Gun Talk newsletter and join the Truth Squad at www.guntalk.com. Now, back to Gun Talk with Washington Times opinion page regular contributor Tom Gresham.
Yeah, I wonder about Fox News sometimes. Here they're republishing a piece from the Associated Press, and the title is New CDC Data Understate Accidental Shooting Deaths. Talking about for kids. And they picked up this Associated Press story that is just a regurgitation of the gun ban mantra. And it says that, well, the CDC is supposed to count accidental shooting deaths of youngsters. And they say there's only 77 a year, but we found almost twice that many. And then they quote, I'll get the guy's name just because we should. Rosenberg, I remember his last name. He's the former director of part of the CDC, and he's actually the one that caused the CDC to lose some funding that people wail about, that the left is crazy about, because they say, well, now Congress cut out all funding for government studies on gun accidents. No, that's not true. And the media knows it's not true, and yet they keep perpetuating this lie. It's not a mistake anymore. If you know it's not true and you keep saying it, it's a lie. Here's what happened. Mr. Rosenberg, some years ago, when he was at the CDC, he made a talk and he said, our goal with this research, big air quotes around research being done at the Centers for Disease Control. Our goal is to make guns like cigarettes, dirty and banned. So he said the goal of the CDC research was to ban guns. Well, Congress said, wait a minute, you're using taxpayer dollars to do that? Well, I don't think so. So here's what they did. And this is important to understand. They said, here's the deal. Any research that has as its goal advancing gun control cannot be funded with federal dollars. The corollary to that, of course, the flip side is, but if you're doing real research and it doesn't have a goal of advancing gun control, then you can continue to do that. So what did the CDC do? They simply stopped doing all research on guns. Kind of tells you why they were doing research on guns, doesn't it? So now we have AP and Fox News running these placed propaganda stories as though they're news, saying, and in the story it says Congress cut out the ability of CDC to do any research on guns. We've got to get that restored. This is all part of the new assault through the media on gun rights. The New York Times this morning, an editorial, pro bono team takes on the NRA. This is about these high-priced, high-powered lawyers who are going to donate their time to file lawsuits to try to get things done that they say that should have been done by Congress, which means that the people didn't want it. Oh, yeah, gun control got rejected, by the way. Hillary Clinton got rejected. This newest movie, Mrs. Sloan, a total gun control propaganda piece, crashed and burned at the box office. People don't want this. People don't want more gun control. They don't want you people telling us to turn in our guns or that you're going to come get our guns. So now we've got this piece in the New York Times. They're saying, well, of course, we've got this law in Congress passed that protects the gun industry, the firearms makers, in a way that no one else has ever had, no other industry has ever had immunity from lawsuits. Well, guess what? That's not true either. The gun makers don't have immunity from lawsuits. What they have, though, is protection from lawsuits that seek to blame them for the actions, the illegal actions of third party. You can still you can file a suit, you can hold a gun maker or a gun seller responsible for making a defective product. That's still there. You can hold a gun seller responsible if that seller knowingly sells to a criminal, okay? But you can't say, and that's what Congress said, you can't say to Smith & Wesson, you sold a legal gun and the FBI okayed the purchase of that gun to that individual, and then that individual sold a gun to somebody else, or it was stolen by somebody, and then it was used in a crime, so therefore, Smith & Wesson, you want to be held responsible for that. That's what was going on. That's what the lawsuits were about, and that's what these lawyers want to be able to go back to, because they know that that is how you destroy gun making in the United States without a law. You don't have to ban guns. You simply have to get one single case against a gun maker where you can hold them responsible somehow for the illegal actions of a third party. That's what it's about. And when the New York Times or Fox News buys into that, what they're doing is they are taking sides. They are becoming a participant in the gun ban wars. Be alert. Pay attention. This is the new version of fake news from New York Times, CNN most certainly, and now, unfortunately, even Fox News. 866-TALK-GUN.
In the war on terror, fighting crime in the streets, in competition and homes around the world, one name in firearms stands out: Sig Sauer. Our pistols and rifles are renowned for their unfailing performance. This same commitment to excellence can be found in our line of SigTac accessories and the training offered by the Sig Sauer Academy. For unmatched quality, reliability, and innovation when it counts, choose Sig Sauer. Visit sigsauer.com today.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
If you're like me, you don't have money to burn, but you still want to buy guns, ammo, and accessories. That's why we created Gun Dealio. That's a free, yes, a free smartphone app. Just download it and start getting the deals. Could be discounts, offers of free magazines for your gun, or you could be the first to hear about new stuff from gun makers. Here's how it works. With Gun Dealio on your phone, you get alerts when you enter a gun store. Special deals, you know. You don't have to do a thing. It'll do a lot of other cool things, like let you watch gun videos and listen to Gun Talk podcast. Plus, check it anytime for hundreds of deals and offers. Getting more while spending less. Smart, huh? Gun Dealio. Made in America. Gluten-free. At the App Store and Google Play or GunDealio.com.
If you love to shoot sporting clays, Mossberg has just the gun for you. The new Pro Series Sporting is a full-featured target gun that fits well and puts naturally right out of the box. Designed in conjunction with Gil and Vicky Ash of OSP Shooting Schools, the Mossberg 930 was developed to work with you to make clay shooting easier, more consistent, and more enjoyable. This fall, head out to the range and break more clays with the new Mossberg 930 Sporting. Learn more at mossberg.com.
With you, Tom Gresham, 866-TALK-GUN. David's with us out of Denver. He's on line 3. David, what have you been up to?
Tom, first I want to thank you for you and your family, 3 generations of the Greshams, getting out the word and giving us great information for the cause. It's just wonderful, from the first-person defender all the way to your advocation of training. Because of you, I've trained with Clint Smith and Masada Yub in the last couple of years and other training, so just thank you for that.
If you would, before you go forward, when you, and I know you do, people ask you why. Why would you do that? Why would you spend the money and the time to go train with a Masada Yub or a Clint Smith? After you've come back, how do you explain the experience?
I think it goes back to what you said, talking about the first-person defender. You will rise to the level of training that you have, and if you don't have it, you're never going to be able to rise to the occasion. And I think everybody has this mindset that they'll become a superhero when trouble comes looking for you. Trouble that chooses the time and place it comes looking for you, not the other way around. And part of the mindset of the training is as much as the gun handling skill that's imparted by the instructors. So that's why, and I've set a goal for going to a training class at least once a year.
All right, outstanding. Okay, so what have you been up to helping a friend here?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to tell you, too, about what I've called the Gresham method. As sort of the resident gun guy in a group of friends, I'm often asked for assistance on what gun to buy, and a friend that's sort of a slight female continued to ask me, and I said, you just tell me what gun to buy. And I said, no, I'm not going to tell you. In Denver, we're actually blessed with a range that, for a flat fee, you get to rent all of the guns. And we went and tried out every gun. We decided on 9mm for her, and if she had just said, "Tell me what to buy," and I answered, I would have said, "Buy a Glock 19 because that's what I carry." But after exhaustive testing each one for hand, fit, manipulation, etc., she settled on a different gun, if you can imagine. And at the end of it, I asked, well, aren't you glad we did this instead of just going with what I told you to do? Instead of you got the option to pick out the gun that you wanted based on how it felt and how it worked and how you were able to manipulate it. And she said, well, that was, she ultimately did not like the Glock and went with this Smith & Wesson Shield. Obviously, two different guns completely.
Yeah.
But just wanted to, again, thank you and tell all the guys out there that are just buying guns for their significant others or friends or whatever, that's the way to go versus here's a gun for you.
Isn't that interesting? Because that, and I would hasten to add, both of those guns are fabulous, really good guns. It's just a case of which one's right for you. The 19 is right for you. The Shield's right for her. But there's no way to know that until you go try it. Pick up a bunch of different guns, do some shooting with it. That is terrific. Congratulations to you, David. And also, frankly, you were able to bring your experience of training with good trainers to that also to help her. Because one of the problems is, and you understand this, if someone literally does not know how to correctly hold a gun, he or she can't make a good informed decision on which one works because they haven't even gotten to where they could actually hold a gun. So you were able to help on that part too, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and enlisted the help from the range folks as well. So it wasn't me being overbearing on what choices that I would make. I mean, it was as objective as I could make it. But I also said, well, listen to what this guy says at the range, and listen to what that guy says, and ultimately it worked out great for her.
Hey, let's give a shout out to the range. What range was it?
It's Blue Core Shooting Center in Lakewood, Colorado.
Okay, good deal. We always like to give a good shout out to good guns and good shooting ranges, and we have more and more of them all the time. Way to go. That was really great, David. I appreciate what you did there, and a big attaboy to you. Thank you for the call. Justin's on line 2, Granite City, Illinois. Justin, talk to me.
Hey, well, first, Merry Christmas to you and Tom and Tom and Michelle and Jim in the back too.
Thank you.
Last night, my wife and I, I've talked before, I live just east of St. Louis here in Illinois. And driving along Mississippi last night, in the past 36 hours or so, we've been hit by a lot of ice. And heading home last night, and we actually started just kind of talking, and what would happen if we hit a patch of ice, lose control, end up in the river? And I'd like to get a couple seatbelt cutters that, they have a window buster as well. There's, I did some Google searching and whatnot, but I want a good brand, and I know you've been through a lot of training, so I wanted your opinion.
It's interesting you asked that. First of all, none of the training I've had talks about those, but I will hasten to say that I think it's a good idea, and here's why. Here's why I think you're really smart. I have exactly one of those in my car because I drive across the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge in the world, and people go off of it occasionally. Same deal. I want to be able to cut my way out of a seatbelt, and I want to be able to break out a window. But also for anybody who's thinking, well, I don't go across water. Well, if the car flips over and you can't get out and the sucker's on fire, you need to get out right now. And the seatbelt's jammed. You can cut your way out. You can break out a window. You can get out. Here's my thing as to which one. The first one that comes to hand. They're all going to work. It's real simple. A seatbelt cutter is simply a knife built in, and the windshield buster is a form of a hammer. You can break out the side window. Don't try to break out the front window. You're not going to do that, but side windows you can do that. So I would say get one and put them in both of your cars and attach it in some way so it doesn't go flying around. If and when the vehicle starts spinning and rotating and flipping around, you want to have it right where you can reach it, whether it's under the dash or the side or in a side pocket or something. But you want to be able to reach down there, grab that thing, cut the seat belts off and get people out. And I would also add, and a great idea, a wonderful idea, great Christmas gift for people. Also, and thank you for the call. One other thing. That's one of the reasons I carry a knife with me. If I have to go pull somebody out of a car, I may have to cut the seat belt out. You go, oh yeah, really? Well, I don't know. It may never happen in my lifetime, but if it happens only once, then every hour of the thousands of hours that I carried that knife would have been worthwhile. Really is as simple as that. 866-TALK-GUN. Give me a holler. This is Gun Talk. Hey, just got an email. For the Range Report, Scott says, bought the crossbreed holster with the Aries belt buckle. Love it. Have it nice and snug while using. If you're driving for long hours, you can loosen it up. Best belt I've ever owned. I'm pinch belt alone. Oh, he says, I think the belt alone would make a good weapon, whacking people with that buckle. Okay, cool. Says, starting to take his wife to some classes, and she loves his Ruger SR9C. Looks like I'm in the market for another 9mm. Our local gun store doesn't have the American Pistol Subcompact in. Says, is it that sweet? Yes, it is. I think the American platform, Ruger American Pistol, is really a sweet platform. It is right in there with the very best of the other polymer guns. So I think it's one when you're considering different guns, if you can get your hands on one, check it out, see if it fits your hand well. It's definitely one to consider. Let's go to line one. Bruce is with us out of Florida. Hey, Bruce, customer service, talk to me.
Yes, hi, Tom. I just want to tell you that it seems to me that the more inexpensive gun companies have the best customer service.
Why do you think that might be?
Because now I know that most gun snobs don't like the name High Point, but High Point customer service rocks. I call them with an issue, and they send me a new recoil spring and added a new firing pin springs, and all of the little pieces that go in there without even being asked, and they had it out and mailed it to me within 3 days.
That is outstanding.
Also,
have you had any experience with other customer service? With
yes,
different
I have
companies?
actually. With I don't want to name the company because it was a negative customer experience, but it was a higher end gun, and I sent it back to them once for a chambering problem where it wouldn't chamber a 45 ACP. So I sent it in to them. They paid for the label and everything. Then I continued having the same problem, and when I called them back, they said, you have to pay for shipping this time. We're not going to pay for shipping on a return item.
Was it because they said they couldn't find a problem? Well, they couldn't find a problem the first time?
No, they did. They said they rebored the chamber, and they put in new recoil spring, and then they sent it back. And within 50 rounds, I still had the same problem. So I called them back, and they told me that I have to pay for the shipping to them.
Interesting.
So the gun is still sitting in my safe. I'm waiting for a local gunsmith to become available for him to work on it. Because the shipping is pretty much how much a gunsmith would charge anyway.
Right. Obviously, there's any number of issues. Could be ammo, could be a problem, still a problem with the gun, could be a lot of things. But I'm sorry to hear that. Generally speaking, what I get is positive reports on customer service from almost all the gun companies across the board, whether they're expensive or inexpensive. But I really appreciate the range report, and thank you for the call. Good to know that even the inexpensive companies are having some decent customer service, taking care of their people. Let's look at here. Okay, we're not going to have time here. Dale, don't go anywhere. We're going to get you in. Just have to take a real quick break and do that. We'll get anybody else that would like to join us. It's very easy, 866-TALK-GUN. When we come back, we'll be talking about a company that has moved. Well, it's a firearms-related company. They said, okay, California, no, we can't do this anymore. And they just picked up their company and moved. That is not easy. It is not cheap. It's not insignificant. It's a big deal to move a company. But this one did it, and I'll tell you about them when we come back. Also, I want to talk a little bit more about Guns for Christmas, and we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, I have some thoughts, just kind of putting things into perspective, and I want to get into that in terms of how we look at situations and what we should be doing. There are some things that come up recently. I've just been thinking about it, kind of one of those, you know how you get things in your head and you kind of roll them around and say, that's interesting. Maybe there's a different way of looking at things. We'll get into that. And, of course, we're looking for your range reports. What have you been shooting, and what are you thinking about buying? 866-TALK-GUN.